Hey there, creepy peeps. My name is Nightmare Maven, and I love talking about horror. And we are halfway through 2021. Didn't need any more proof that time is a construct and nothing is real, but here we are. If you're new here, hi, hello, welcome. I'm so happy you found my channel. I promise I don't always have an existential crisis at the start of every video. If you're returning, welcome back. Please don't tell the newbies that I have an existential crisis during every video. So as I try and do every year about this time, I'm gonna talk about some of my favorite horror things of the year so far. Just a small disclaimer, I include things that are new to me also, so not everything in this video, like movies and book wise, came out in 2021. This is just the first that I'm experiencing them, but I still think that counts. So let's get TV out of the way first, because there's only one new show that I watched this year so far, and that is Love, Death, and Robots. I love this series so much. Like, I love all the different animation styles and the weird, kind of fucked up, kind of funny stories. My only gripe with it is that it's over so quickly. Like, if you haven't watched it before, there's 2 seasons now, so, you know, I would highly recommend it. They're really easy to get through and very quick, so if you just need something fast to watch in between other shows, it's a perfect one. So I'm gonna be honest, there are barely any like actual 2021 horror movies in this little list so far. Like, a lot of the new releases we got this year have not been for me. So I'm really holding out for the last half of this year. Ignore the dog. I gotta go to work soon, so I really can't stop to wait for her to stop barking. So the Fear Street movies so far have been awesome. As I'm filming this, the 3rd part is not yet out, but the first 2 have been amazing. I think they would easily be in my top 3 of Netflix original horror movies video. A video that I feel like I'm gonna have to make soon because I don't think I have yet, so I should get on that. I thought they were super fun slashers. The music is of course awesome, and I love the aesthetic of both so far. They're super duper fun. Saint Maud is also another standout for me. I guess it's technically a 2021 release for the United States. I know it came out earlier in other parts of the world. I really like that one. I can't wait for it to be in a future Does This Offend You episode. I just feel like it's one of those movies that we would definitely talk about. And in I Can't Believe I Hadn't Seen These Already news, first half of this year, I watched the 1988 remake of The Blob and Slither for the very first time. Both were Patreon movie nights, if I remember correctly. I loved them. I'm honestly kind of mad at myself that I hadn't watched them sooner. I think there was definitely an extra element of fun in that I was watching them with a group. They were so much fun. They were so much fun, and besides Saint Maud, I feel like that's the theme of like the movies I've really loved. It's needed. I need something kind of fun, kind of spooky. Lutz, The Flower of Evil, and Promising Young Woman were 2 movies I also saw in the first half of this year that I thought were awesome. Not as fun. They are definitely more serious in tone. Lutz was one that if you haven't seen that one yet, I don't know if it's still on Tubi. It was when I saw it for the first time. It is a beautiful fucking movie. Like, literally beautiful. Like, the cinematography it's more of a slow burn and very dark and serious, but it's just aesthetically beautiful. I also want to mention a true crime docu-series I saw this year so far, and that is The Ripper on Netflix. It follows the Yorkshire Ripper case. And as far as like layout go, like of the episodes and what they chose to reveal and when, I feel like this is like the best planned docu-series that I've ever seen. It got to a point very quickly that I could not stop watching the episodes, and I was like, I'm gonna accept my fate and I'm gonna stay up all night because I just had to finish it. It also definitely helped me that I knew very little about the Yorkshire Ripper going in, so a lot of the information was new to me, but I thought it was a really well done docuseries. I've been trying to branch out more this year and read some manga and graphic novels because I feel like that is a huge blind spot for me in terms of like what I read. And one graphic novel I really want to mention because I feel like a lot of you guys would really like it if you haven't seen it already, is Something is Killing the Children. This is a graphic novel that my ASM at work turned me on to, and I loved it. It follows a town in which children are going missing and turning up dead and killed brutally at an alarming rate. Then a mysterious woman who is part of a secret society of monster hunters shows up to help. Got some pretty intense and scary moments. It's extremely gory, and I just think the story is really compelling, and it moves really fast without moving too fast. You know what I mean? Like without feeling like I'm missing anything or I don't have time to enjoy things, but it does move quite quickly. Highly recommend. In terms of books, there's only a few that have stood out to me so far, but one that was just a standout to me that I first read this year. The book is a little bit older than that, but it's The Good House by Tananarive Due. It's part haunted house story, part occult story, part possession story. It's got some like generational horror, some like real life horror. It's just so well-rounded, and I feel like for having so many horror elements in there, I feel like it should be a thicker book. I also think that this would be like a really dense read if it includes so much, and it's just the writing is so easy to read, almost conversational. It's a great book. Another one that really stood out to me, which had been on my TBR forever, and we finally read it for a Creepy Book Club, is Clown in a Cornfield by Adam Cesar. This is a YA horror book. I can say with a good amount of confidence that this is the goriest YA book I've ever read. There were parts that I was shocked that this was YA. And it's just like gore and some violence. There's not any like, you know, like sexually graphic content or anything like that, but just the amount of violence in it, I was shocked that it was YA. Kind of like generations versus each other in this small town without giving too much away. That's kind of like the main like conflict here. It's not anything like new we haven't seen before, technically speaking, but it was an interesting and like fresh spin on that, which I really enjoyed. I really like the book. You know, if you're not opposed to reading YA, which I don't know why you would be, there's not, you know, enjoy it if you want to enjoy it. This is great. And I'm just going to talk about this one really quickly because I have something planned for it for 31 Days of Horrorween. Yes, I'm already doing stuff for that right now. But I just recently finished Tender is the Flesh by Augustina Bazterrica. Oh my god. I'm doing a lot with disturbing books in October, so that's something to look forward to, but it means I'm reading a lot of very disturbing content, and this is definitely up there in the top 3 of most disturbing books I've ever read. I utilized the audiobook version of this a lot too, like in my drives to and from work, and when I tell you, like, I just wish I could have been another driver on the road this past week, like at a red light, and I just like happened to look over and see like me in my car like dry heaving. For a few parts, like I genuinely thought I was gonna have to pull over to the side of the road and go vomit. If you don't know, a quick version of the plot is it's a dystopian future in which animals can no longer be eaten. So humans are now being raised as meat and slaughtered. So I'm getting a little bit sick just thinking about it. Very detailed and very graphic description of, you know, how it all happens, like all the different branches of this product. Super disturbing, not for those with a weak stomach, and trigger warning. Sexual assault, maybe. It's difficult to explain why the maybe unless I explain the whole scene to you, which I'm not gonna do. And for animal violence. So that's it. That's everything I've been loving so far in 2021. We've got a lot of new horror books that are coming out the last half of this year, a lot of new horror movies, especially, you know, like August, September, October time. So hopefully the end of the year wrap up will include a lot more like actual new things. Let me know what you've been loving so far in this year, if you know, if there's anything you can find. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new here. Become a creepy peep today. Post 2 new videos a week, which means I'll see you very soon. Until then, stay strange. Bye.